I'm about to go live, about to go live, about to go live, about to go live. Hey, about to go live tonight, about to go live today, about to go live tonight, about to go live today, about to go live today and talk some hockey. Sound check is working. I don't know why I clicked on my microphone because I'm putting on my hoodie. Just got done with the shower, everybody. Feels great to be live again. Haven't been live in a few weeks. I know I've been letting some people down with the live streams. However, I've been getting let down by these Olympics. Oh man, have I been getting let down by these Olympics. Now, I don't know how many people here in the chat, here in the stream, are Olympic fans at all. I'm not sure how much I care about the Olympics. I care, but I don't care. I care, but I don't care. I care, but I don't care. I am Week Haken. Nice to see everybody tonight. Tonight we're going to talk some hockey. Tonight we are going to talk about the Olympics. Tonight we're going to talk about. Actually, position myself this evening. Tonight we're just going to be talking a little bit about the league, talking a little bit about the Olympics, talking about some of the big news in hockey right now. Obviously, a lot of that is Olympics focused right now due to the fact the Olympics is the only hockey we got going on right now. Hope everyone is doing well. Thanks for watching tonight. Oh, glad to have everybody back. Hopefully your day was fantastic. Hopefully your week has been fantastic. Friday is right around the corner. It's going to come soon. And then we got our weekend, and then we got our weekend. But Friday, we got the finals for the men's gold. That's going to be a game. Or that semifinals. Oh, the Slovakia is this. Nope, they're going to the semis. It looks like. Well, it's going to be a very, very interesting turnout for the end of these Olympics. I don't know how many hockey. I mean, I think a lot of hockey fans went into these Olympics really excited. Honestly, for me, it's been the accessibility of the Olympics. It's really taken away a lot of the excitement for me. I want to watch more Olympics, especially Olympic hockey. However, it is just getting more and more difficult to find it. It's getting, and that's just frustrating to me, honestly. If you make it that difficult to find highlights or to find recaps, it makes it just because I'm not going to be able to keep up with it because I'm doing other things, probably working. Like, what was it? The only reason that I got to see the men's game the other night, the USA, was it Switzerland game? It's because I got off of work early. That's the only reason that I got to see that game is I got off of work early and I literally checked X and I saw that there was a comment about a USA game going on. And I checked, I was like, oh, 6 minutes left to go in the third. I'll watch. Just by dumb luck. By dumb luck. And I watched it and I watched the Swiss, I believe, or Swedes. I really don't remember which team it was. Yellow jerseys, I believe. They tied it up with like 2 minutes left. I was gonna go work out, and then I didn't go work out. They tied up with 2 minutes left to go, and then of course they went to 3-3 overtime. Where Boldy to Matthews to Quinn Hughes. Dude, bring Matthews to Minnesota Wild. Maybe he'll start scoring with Matthews or with Hughes and Boldy. Bring Matthews. That'd be watching Matthews playing the Wild. Pretty funny to watch, actually. I'd watch it. I'd watch it. I'd watch it. Not just because I'm a Wild fan, but because I think that'd be a unique player to see if they just got a pure goal scorer with a couple of finesse guys. Wonder how that would work out. Wonder how that would work out. Back to ice hockey. Let's see here. Nope, tomorrow is semifinals. I lied. Canada, Finland, and then United States, Slovakia on Friday. And then Saturday looks like that is going to be the championship, which I believe I get off of. I barely just I'm going to be getting off of work, so I should be able to see that game. I might even cast it if it's USA Canada. I might even cast it. So that could be a possibility, everybody. I might cast a game on Saturday. And you might be watching the stream and you might be like, WeK, can you seem a little lower energy tonight? What's going on? I just worked out. I haven't ate yet. It's been a long day. So I'm still excited to talk hockey. I might not just be bouncing off the walls right now. I get some food in me, I'll probably get a little bit more excited. So, like I said, men's hockey seems like it finishes up on Saturday. Oops. So we'll see which teams get there. It would probably be the most exciting to see USA Canada. I'm not sure if there's any other possible matchup at this point, but I think it's winner takes all at this point. So I feel like these matches do matter as far as seeing if what is it? Slovakia? Who are they playing against? Canada against Finland and United States against Slovakia. So still got to earn it. Still have to earn it. One more match to go. Maybe they win. Maybe they don't. We'll see how that proceeds. Now, something exciting happened today. If we're talking about Olympics hockey, well, that is, of course, if you're a fan of United States women's hockey, because the United States women hockey won. I almost was going to say the Stanley Cup. They won the gold medal. The United States women's hockey won the gold medal. Shouldn't have been watching the game at work, but how could I not? How could I not? How could you not? So, pretty much this game, girls hockey game. Let's try and play. You know what? I can pull up the box score. Let's see here. It was a 2-1 game, and it went to overtime. So it was it right at the beginning of the period? Yeah, right in the beginning of the second period, the Canadians, isn't that what, Canada, I don't know. Canada scores with 54 seconds into the period. Kay O'Neill, her third goal of the event. It was a shorthanded goal too, which means that the USA was on a power play. So the USA had an extra player and they somehow managed to get scored on. So the USA women's they get scored on, and it was pretty defeating. And it was it was back and forth for the most part for most of the second period. Third period, the USA women's team seems like they started to take a little bit more control of that period. They eventually score with about 2 minutes and 4 seconds left to go in the third period. By Knight, her third goal of the event, assisted by L. Edwards and M. Keller, both of their sixth assists of the event. So it goes into overtime. Next goal wins. Whoever scores, they win the gold medal. You are the best Olympian. Whoever scores the next goal, you're the best Olympian. You worked these last 4 years, and now look what you've achieved. You've achieved everything that you've worked for. Well, United States ends up scoring that goal, like I said, 4 minutes and 7 seconds. What was it? 7 seconds into it. It's Keller, her third of the event, assisted by Taylor Heisey. So the USA Women, now it's 3-on-3 overtime, just like how the NHL does it. I don't know if the PWHL does the 3-on-3 overtime, but the NHL does it. It's way more exciting. Way more exciting. They do the 3-on-3 overtime. USA scores. USA scores. And USA wins gold. So awesome job. Well done to the USA ladies. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool to see it. That's got to be a burn for Canada. I mean, you were literally winning that game for a good 35, 37 minutes until USA scores with 2 minutes and 4 seconds left to go in the third period. That's got to be frustrating. Now, from my notes, this marked the USA's third Olympic gold, first since 2018, in the first undefeated tournament run since Nagano since 1998, if I pronounced that right. And they extend their win streak versus Canada to 8 games. So the United States women's hockey seems to put Canada in their place every single time that they play them. Well done for USA. Goaltender, 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 goaltender Aaron Frankel, first-time Olympian, posted a .39 goals against average and a .979 save percentage with 30 saves in the final. The USA were flawless, 14 for 14 on power plays. I did not know that. I didn't know that until I wrote that stat down. Is what I meant. I mean, comedic effect, everybody. Come on, that is insane. To do that well on power plays, 14 for 14. That's disgusting. Well done to the USA women's. Final thing I wrote down. So Canada, kind of like I said, they took that early shorthanded lead by Kristen O'Neill. But even though they tried as hard as they could, USA they just beat them. USA just beat them. So well done, like I said, to both teams and to all of the female teams that competed in the event. Looks like Team USA got that. And who knows, for the men's, it's very possible that if both teams win their games on Friday, that they could advance to the finals on Saturday. Now, talking about those finals on Saturday, a big player that we might not know who is going to play for Team Canada, or even Friday for that matter, Sidney Crosby. Sidney Crosby, a first overall NHL pick in the NHL, I believe from 2004. He sustained an injury in the last game, got shoved into the boards. He was getting checked. He got sandwiched a couple of times. He might be ruled out of the tournament and hopefully not ruled out of the NHL season. Especially with somebody his age, man, it's not going to be easy for him to heal. It's not going to be easy for him to get back into the game. Sidney Crosby, a huge weapon for Team Canada. If he's ruled out, that's going to be. I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to make it more even because Team Canada is stacked, and when I say stacked, that team shouldn't lose at all. Team Canada should not lose at all. That team has way too much talent on their team. That team has way too much talent on their team. They have way too many good players on that team. Shouldn't lose. Shouldn't lose at all. But with Crosby being day to day right now, and he didn't practice the other day, he's probably not playing tomorrow. It sounds like they play Finland tomorrow. Now I don't know about everybody else here in the stream and the cast and the chat and the room and the whatever. I don't know if you guys actually pay attention to where players are from. I know I need to get better at paying attention to where players are from, but I don't do that, and I probably should because if I did that, I probably would not be able to be a little bit more probably vocal in these conversations, but I don't know where half of these players are from. I feel like half the players, honestly, are from Russia. And so when you're looking at these rosters and you're like, where are these, like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know what's going on, man. I'm just watching these games. I'm just watching the games trying to be a fan. Let's be a fan. Just let me be a fan. It'd be great for Crosby to come back. It's not really, see, there's sometimes when you play against certain teams or certain, yeah, certain matchups. If there's a certain player that's not on that team, it might not truly. Wild Chirpster is the Chirpster. Wild Chirpster, is Crosby seriously injured? His chances of coming to the Wild are seriously in serious jeopardy. Well, considering that the Penguins are in a playoff spot as well, they're sitting pretty comfortable in a playoff spot. I feel that Crosby might be sitting comfortable in IR. And who knows? I mean, I would personally, I don't feel like if the USA plays against Canada, if both of them do get to the finals, and if USA wins, if it's gonna feel like one of those games where Canada's gonna say, "Well, yeah, we didn't have Crosby," and we're gonna like, "Yeah, well, you had McDavid, you had Celebrini, you had McKinnon. Who else do you need? Did you need Crosby? Do you even need? Do you need Crosby? Because you got a lot of other players on your team that are decent enough. That are decent enough. So Chirpster, I think Crosby, I don't know if he's seriously injured. I think he's definitely going to take some time off. I think he's going to make, you know what? I'll take the next couple days off as far as now not skating or maybe not playing a game. But I think, especially for hockey players, keeping them off the ice for big games is really hard to do. As hockey players play when I mean, they'll play with like bashed up faces. They'll play if one of their eyes are puffed up from a fight. Hockey players will do anything. They'll play with broken hands. They'll just say, tape my hand as long as I can swing my arms. As long as I can swing my arms, I'll try. I'll try. So Olympic hockey and NHL hockey starting to get a little bit more exciting, could have a little bit more potential depending upon who plays. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about in regards for the way that the Olympics is going to proceed. Now with the NHL, of course, the National Hockey League, trade rumors are starting to heat back up again. Of course, Artemi Panarin, the recently acquired Los Angeles King from the New York Rangers. Of course, the New York Rangers in their centennial season are having a season that they wish, it seems like one of their first 5 seasons, because they are awful. They can't figure out how to win a game at home. They can score at they can score when they're away, but they can't win at home. And of course, you got 40 home games. Half of your games are at home. And if you can't win a game at home, you're not going to be a successful hockey club. So right now, the New York Rangers are not a successful hockey club at all. They're getting swamped, and it's embarrassing. It's super embarrassing watching them get swamped. Now they did win their outdoor game. They played against the Florida Kitties, the Florida Panthers. They had an outdoor game where they played. I don't remember which stadium they played in, but they played in a stadium, and it was a Winter Classic. What some stadium in Florida? No, the Florida or the women's team throwing their sticks around. It looks like someone was going to lose a tooth. Was that after they won the championship? I had it playing at work when I shouldn't have had it playing at work, but I had it playing at work, and especially when the overtime came on, I was pretty much glued to my screen, just watching, watching, watching. And to my surprise, or I mean, to my happiness, they won. No, because the other thing is that the women, they all wear the face shield, right? So they don't necessarily all have the. I mean, they're probably ripping their helmets off, right? And throwing their sticks around. But I mean, when you think about it, you throw off your gloves. I mean, you throw your stick, you throw off your gloves, rip your cage off, throw off your helmet, and then you skate over to all your teammates, right? Wouldn't that be the right way to do it? I mean, because I mean, why would you want to rip off your cage? Is it easy? Is it better to rip off with your gloves? Is it more comfortable? I mean, I always remember it being annoying to use my gloves for that. So I think it would just be smarter to throw your gloves out, throw your stick off, drop your stick, drop your paddle, drop your gloves, take off your helmet, and then celebrate. No, I guess I might have to rewatch that. Well, so NHL trade deadline, that is, what is it, February, no, March 6th that I read for that trade deadline? Yeah, March 6th. March 6th is not what I wrote in my notes for the trade deadline. It's going to be really interesting to see what teams do because you have some teams like the Penguins. If Crosby is out, do they even try? I mean, because I mean, you got Malk. I mean, do you see when Crosby's going to get better? If Crosby's out for the season, do you try to say, hey, so Malkin and Carlson and Letang, you guys are our vets, and you guys don't have the biggest weapon that this team has. I don't think that you guys are respectfully going to carry this team into the playoffs. I don't think that you guys can actually carry this team to a championship. So I am not going to trade assets. What you guys have is what you guys have. You guys are the good players. You guys are the talented players. If you guys are going to bring this team over the finish line, it's going to be you guys. There's nobody else that's going to bring this team over the finish line. So the Penguins, they got to worry about Crosby just as not as much as Team Canada does, but they do got to worry about his health. They got to worry about if Crosby is going to be able to play in the playoffs or play, I guess, at all, right? Now, there's a lot of other teams that might be sellers. You might have the Calgary Flames, the Vancouver Canucks, the St. Louis Blues. Some of those teams might be selling some of their players to some of the contenders, maybe the Ottawa Senators, maybe the Pittsburgh Penguins. There's a couple other teams that might want to bolster their team. Who knows? The playoff race is about to get really, really exciting, especially considering how many players and how many teams have been able to take advantage of the Olympic break and rest their players. There's going to be a lot of teams that are going to have a lot of players that have gotten additional rest that now are going to come back a little hungrier, a little bit more rested, and maybe with a different game plan in mind. And depending upon how many teams choose to act earlier before the trade deadline? Because that's something that we actually noticed last season is that a lot of teams actually traded and did a lot of their moves prior to the trade deadline. They're like, you know what? We want to see the chemistry start to bloom, start to explode quicker. We don't want to wait 2 weeks into March. We want to see we want to see that by the time that our player is catching their stride is the day that the player from the trade deadline arrives at a rival team. So they want to have that week. They want to have that week and a half. They want to have that 2 weeks of advantage on these other teams. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you see some of these other top teams making some trades or some of these other bottom teams making some trades earlier because maybe the bounty is going to be higher. Look at a player like Artemi Panarin. That is not a big return. Not a big return at all for the New York Rangers from the LA Kings. It just felt like a player that eventually just had to get moved because he only wanted to get moved to a few different places. He wasn't going to really continue to build your brand there in New York. He was done. Once you start talking about so much about a trade, once the trade is pretty much known to be confirmed, especially by fans, I mean, that's got to be the worst thing. I mean, or the coolest but worst thing for that leagues like the NHL is that now you're so transparent that the fans know what's going on. so much to the point to where you're like, oh, we know that sometimes the fan knows a player is traded before the player. Like Marc-Andre Fleury when he went from the Vegas Golden Knights to the Chicago Blackhawks. He didn't know he was getting traded until after he was traded. And then after he was traded, he was like, all right. And it was such a stab in the back to him. He considered retiring. He's like, do I just retire? Do I just retire? I thought that I had respect from this team. I thought that I had respect. I'm going to switch my angle and just kind of stare straight for now. I thought I had their respect. Apparently not. And pretty sad. Pretty sad to be Marc-Andre Fleury and have that happen to him. I'm going to check. Olympics Women's Hockey Championship. I'm going to see if they have that celebration. They win gold. Gonna have to mute the audio, but I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna give a live reaction. Let's see here when the women win the gold, if it will work for me. Because what a dude! I got distracted by this honestly. So they score 2 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the third period, and you can just see and the women they had the goalie pulled, so they couldn't be more excited. And it's a crazy shot just from the point, straight on. Look at that shot. That tied the hockey game. And there's just no momentum with the puck. No momentum at all. They are so hyped up. Absolutely, Lady Riderx. Welcome to the stream. It's so great to have you back again. Look at that. So the women tie it up. They go to overtime. They go to overtime. USA women must be so excited. So excited for this opportunity. Yep, 3-on-3 overtime. So it's just a stretch pass from the very back, a dangle, and just a backhand whack beats the goalie. The defender was losing her stride on her. And I mean, it looked like she barely got beaten. She barely got beaten. And just a easy backhander kind of flubbed right over the goalie's pad. Just a stretch pass from behind the net goes right over the red line, catches Keller at the blue line, dangles over the defender. Defender stumbling attempt to I guess defend, can't get a stick on Keller. Keller just a backhander goes right, kind of hits in the hand of the blocker, and just bounces behind right on the kind of the pad and goes right in. Wow. Wow. Okay, now I'm watching all these sticks getting flung around for Wild Chirpster over here. Yeah, I can. It's that. I feel that's the way for every championship. They're all throwing their equipment. They're all throwing their equipment. Stuff's going everywhere. And who would have imagined? I mean, being down in a game for like 35 minutes to tying the game. Is she wearing an Apple Watch? To tying the game with under 2 minutes to go, or 2 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the third period, and then winning the game with 4 minutes into overtime. And it was a beautiful goal. I mean, she dangled her opponent. I think that player's gonna remember that for the rest of her life. I was guarding her and then I wasn't. And then the puck was in the back of the net. Oh, what a burner for Canada. What a burner for Canada. I don't know how I went from the NHL playoffs to that, but I did. But I did. Anyway, anyhow, keep in mind, keep your eye out. There's going to be a lot of players that are going to be traded from this trade deadline. I can only imagine if players from Nashville move too. I have a feeling that a lot of older teams in the playoffs or teams that just have are known right now for having a toxic locker room or some sort of a toxic culture. I I bet there's a lot of teams that there's a lot of players that are going to be getting moved. So keep an eye out for that. That's definitely going to be happening. 100% that's going to be happening. Moving on. Red Wings, I feel like are another team that are going to be making a push. So they want to end their 9 year drought of not making it in the playoffs. Red Wings haven't made it in the playoffs in 9 years. They're feeling that it's time for them to make it back. And looking at the way that Gibson has played for them, especially within these last few weeks, shout out Pops for that recommendation for the fantasy team. But Gibson has just been godlike for them. He's been blocking everything. He's been propelling them into a playoff spot. The Detroit Red Wings would really have to throw away a handful of games to get out of a playoff spot right now. Well done for the Red Wings. Looks like they could make it into the playoffs. It would be a beauty to see them make it back. It'd be a beauty to see the Sabres make it back in the playoffs. This year in the playoffs, we could definitely have some teams that haven't made it in the playoffs or have a lot less experience in the playoffs. Who knows? The Mammoth could make it in the playoffs. The Kraken could make it in the playoffs. We could have a lot of young teams or newer teams or teams that haven't been in the playoffs recently in the playoffs. And that, I mean, obviously, the Mammoth, they're not necessarily their team. The players on that team were all playing together on the Coyotes. So a lot of those players already have synergy together. They're not just new all thrown together. It's not a brand new expansion. It's an expansion team, but it's a team that is real. It's more of a relocation. So it's not an expansion. It's a relocation necessary if we want to get champions. So it's a relocation. The other thing as we adventure on into our shorter netcast for the evening is the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Florida Panthers. Barkov is still injured. He is set to possibly be a playoff time decision. He might come back for the playoffs, or he might not come back until next season. We don't know. Maybe if the Panthers were to make it to the Stanley Cup final, maybe Sasha Barkov, maybe Alexander Barkov would be able to make it to that game. Maybe he'd push himself or expedite his recovery to play in a game of that caliber. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the Florida Panthers. I don't necessarily think that they'd go out and get a weapon. That would be weird. Now Matt Kachuk, he's doing pretty well in the Stanley Cup final. He is an electric guy. He is definitely making sure that no one is messing with the USA. He makes sure that everyone knows that, hey, we're gonna play nail grindy hockey. We're gonna check, we're gonna forecheck, we're gonna crush you against the boards. We're gonna take shots whenever we can. We're gonna bump you when we can. We're gonna let you know that we're here. And maybe he's got a little bit more of that to his game than the other players, maybe him and his brother, of course, but that's Kachuk hockey, and that's hockey that has won back-to-back Stanley Cups, especially in the state of Florida. Now, Washington Capitals, that's a team that started off really great, looked like, oh my gosh, Ovechkin, of course, he made it into 900 goals, he making records, doing fantastic. Unfortunately, team slipping, and the team is slipping to the point to where it looks like playoffs is not even in their vocabulary anymore. It looks bad. It looks like they aren't making it, and it's unfortunately it seems like it's just due to some of the way the team has been playing recently. They're just not winning hockey games, and I couldn't really tell you right now what that could be as far as why the team isn't winning games. I haven't watched a lot of Capitals games recently. What's on the wall behind me? Well, these hockey pucks were given to me for Christmas by this really cool guy. I'm not sure if you heard of him, but he got me these hockey pucks. I don't know how he knew that I wanted them, but He figured it out, and he got me everything that was on the list. So he got me that. We got some signed hockey cards right here. We're hoping we're going to add to that list. How do I think the Wild will do? I think the Wild, as long as Hughes or Boldy doesn't get injured in the Olympics, they're making it in the playoffs. I think if the Wild, I think if the Wild start at home, I think the Wild have a chance if they play Dallas in the first round. If they played the Dallas Stars, which that is their biggest weakness, they cannot beat them. They cannot beat them. They get beat up by them every single round. If they play the Dallas Stars, if the Wild have home ice advantage, I could see the Wild possibly winning. However, they still normally split. They don't win. They don't go up 2 games, and then they go over to Dallas, get cross-checked 2 games in a row. Kaprizov gets injured. Foligno puppies and doesn't fight, and then the Wild lose, and that's the end of the season. So, and then if they face the Avalanche or the there's too many good teams in the West. They play if the Oilers make it in, they're gonna face the angriest McDavid you've ever seen. Angriest McDavid you've ever seen. You play against the Golden Knights, you're gonna play against a Jack Eichel that is not happy about his team's performance recently. He's going to be playing against a Thomas Hertl that wants to go deep, a Mitch Marner that wants to go deep. I would be surprised if the Golden Knights don't make another blockbuster trade. They already got, who was it? Not Noah Hanifin. It was Rasmus Anderson from the Flames. So they got the defense from the Flames for the last 3 years. They're all-star defenders. See if they add any more offensive depth. But the Golden Knights, the Wild are a good team, but they're not proven. All these other teams are proven, except for the Stars. The Stars are proven to get to a final. The Wild aren't proven to get past the second round. So that's when you look at, why would the Wild, why would players want to go to all these other teams? Cups. These other teams have won Stanley Cups. Vegas Golden Knights won a Stanley Cup. Edmonton Oilers have the best player in the world. Colorado Avalanche have won a Stanley Cup. One of the best players in the world. Those are the teams you got to look at. Like, oh man, what are they going to do? Minnesota Wild, we have the potential. We have the players, and I know we could do it. How have they done against Colorado? How has the rest of the league done against Colorado? Colorado, for it wasn't until halfway through December, they lost to 2 teams, 2 losses against everybody. That team is, they are a legit Avalanche. They will just crush you. The top defensemen in the league in interviews say when McKinnon is skating up against them, they go, oh no, I don't. They hope he's just so fast. He's a freight train. What are you going to do when McKinnon's skating 45 miles an hour down the ice at you and he cuts right and you're on the wrong edge? He's going to blow right past you. But you know what? I'll figure it out just for you. Just for you. Just for you. Their head-to-head record this season is 1-1. From the Wild's perspective, 1 win, 1 loss. On the 28th, the Wild won a 3-2 game with a shootout in Minnesota. The Wild ended the Colorado Avalanche's 10-game win streak with Kirill Kaprizov scoring twice in regulation. And then December 21st, the Avalanche win 5-1, embarrassing the Minnesota Wild in Minnesota. Nathan MacKinnon scored twice, reaching his 30th goal of the season. And the Colorado dominated the Wild and snapped the Wild's 7-game win streak. So both teams have won 1 game, and with both of those wins, they end a team's win streak.
This works.
Yeah, which one works for card? Hit the card one.
You would have to be
Yay! Now go back to face. Yay! Oh,
Yay.
dude, it almost broke.
It's there. It's there.
Okay, just making sure, man. Just making sure,
I know.
man. Just making sure we ain't lagging.
So I just want to know this is working. I reset it, and then when would you like to eat?
I'll probably be live for maybe 15 more minutes.
Okay.
What'd you make?
I made KFC bowl.
Okay.
I've been really craving it. I'm sorry.
No, okay.
I
I do like the corn and the sauce and the chicken. I do like it. It just sometimes makes me sleepy.
don't put as much potatoes.
What if I like potatoes?
They're good. I know. It's hard. Start slow.
Maybe, maybe. Thank you,
Okay.
moderator.
It is all finished.
Thank you, moderator.
No problem.
Moderators, let me know that supper is done. I might have to round this up a little quicker.
Well, no, you can take. You can be finished. Don't worry. Take your food.
She's so hungry. She's so hungry.
I can be patient.
You are not patient. She's pacing. All right, everybody. So as the Wild Chirpster was talking about, dude, the Minnesota Wild against the Colorado Avalanche, dude, I don't know, man. That would not be a good look for us. And I would say most of NHL analysts, I'd say it'd probably be 9-1 avalanches. Analysts saying that the Avalanche would beat the Wild. I think that the Wild might be able, if they're lucky, could drag it to 6 games, but the Avalanche will definitely crush them without a thought. And it would be sad. But we got it. I mean, the whole reason we got Hughes was to go head to head with Makar. We're hoping our Kaprizov can go head to head with McDavid, can go head to head with McKinnon, can go head to head with a lot of these other top stars. And then we got we got our talented defenseman, Hughes now. See what he can do. See what Hughes can do. Wild Chirpster. Fun to see so many men women on the Olympic team. Honestly, I don't. That was something that I was saying earlier when I was talking about the NHL. I am so bad at knowing which player plays for or which player is from what nationality. That is one of the things I got to get better at learning about players. I got to get better at learning position and nationality, or that way I feel like I learn a little bit more of their history, which sometimes the hockey cards that we open have, which is super duper exciting. Everyone likes to open up some hockey cards. So Juraj Slavkovsky, back to the Olympics. Slovakia is in the semifinals, and Juraj Slavkovsky pretty much propelling the team to go there. And the fact that some of these smaller countries, I mean, USA and Canada have to be beat up against some teams, right? But to see which teams that are, what they are, or who they are, it's always interesting to see who might be a punching bag. But nonetheless, was it Latvia and Slovakia? And we'll see. It will be pretty exciting to see what type of fight these teams can put up. Because who knows? Maybe they will win, or maybe they will lose, like everyone expects, and you'll see the superpowers beat each other up with Rock'em Sock'em Robots, because that's what it will be. It's just going to be Rock'em Sock'em Robots. If Crosby is out, then it might be a fair fight. If Crosby is not playing, it could be a fair fight. Could be a fair fight. Could very well be a fair fight. We'll see if the Kachucks do anything creative, we'll say, with their fists in that matchup, too. It would be a pretty big thing, though, for them to kind of like throw away or, I don't know, disrespect their potential or the opportunity for them to be in the Olympics as far as getting ejected, because it's an instant ejection from the Olympics if you fight. So don't do it if you don't want to, if you want to play. There's a star from the Gophers. So for the women's Olympic team, was it both college and PWHL? Or was the PW? Because I thought I heard Taylor Heisey, and I thought she plays for the Frost, right? Thought Taylor Heisey is a PWHLer. Thought she was a professional hockey player for the women's team. Because I don't recall hearing any college guys for men. I think it was just the Olympic rosters that took over for them. But hey, we'll see if Slovakia can actually, if they'll win. I forgot who they're playing against. But it'll be against the U.S. So we'll see if the U.S. can handle them, or if they'll just get put in their place. That's kind of the unique thing when you see like I said, you see these teams that are smaller, they can get put in their place, or sometimes they can surprise you. I'd like to see what happens in that hockey game. All right, everybody. I'll be honest, I'm starting to get hungry, and as much as I want to talk about what's going on in the playoffs or the Olympics, I think I'll try to cast that Olympics men's final on Saturday. So hopefully everybody will be back here. It says it starts at 1:40. I'll be on as early as I can, and we will crack a couple of hockey packs to celebrate the Olympics. As we'll do 4 packs because the Olympics is only every 4 years. And I got a lot of hockey packs. So we will crack 4 packs during the Olympics, everybody, to celebrate. I am Week Haken. I hope everybody had a great night. A short little stream just to say thank you for everybody for watching, for logging on to watch me and to listen to me talk hockey, and of course for talking back as we were discussing. But I will be logging off for the night to go have my supper. I hope everybody has a fantastic evening, and you better be back here on Saturday so I can cast the winners final, the grand final, the finale of the Olympics, the men's hockey final. Thank you so much, everybody. I am Week Haken. I hope you had a great night. We will see everybody back soon. You better be back Saturday. I'll see you later. I am Week Haken. Have a great night.